know that I'd be gone?
Okay. Hello again. Today we're going to look at one simple question, or actually it's not very simple, it's very complicated. It seems to be simple, but there are many things happening here, make it very complicated. If we go slowly, didn't you know that I'd be gone? Didn't you know that I'd be gone? If we speed it up, didn't you know that I'd be gone? It becomes much harder to catch. Didn't you know that I'd be gone? Let's look at some of the things that are happening here. First of all, we can start here with a contraction. The contraction's making things smaller. So, I would, I'd. I would, I'd. That's a contraction that makes it smaller. So, I'd be gone. I'd be gone. Then the second point is up here, there's another contraction. Did not, didn't. Did not, didn't. This is also connected to it being a negative question. Positive, negative, plus, minus. This is a negative question. It's more common to use did. Did you know that I'd be gone? Did you know? In this case, we can say didn't. It's a negative question. Didn't you know that I'd be gone? Okay. The next point, the third one, would be right here. We have another example of liaison. And liaison, again, is when we combine a final consonant sound here, this T sound, and we put it in front of the first vowel, or this initial vowel here. So speaking quickly, that tide, that tide, that tide. Didn't you know that tide be gone? Didn't you know that tide be gone? Okay. The next one, going back to this word here, didn't, and maybe the hardest thing to talk about here, number 4, is that the speaker drops the T sound here. It's completely gone. If we speak slowly, didn't or didn't you. The speaker speaking at a more natural speed, and what we hear is didn't you, didn't. So the final T, or the final consonant, is dropped. Didn't you know? Now, it's very common to change. We might change a T plus a Y to a CH. Didn't you know? In this case, the speaker only drops the T. So what we hear is didn't you. We've got an N and a Y. Didn't you? So, going slowly, didn't you know that I'd be gone? Now, you put in the changes. Didn't you know that I'd be gone? The final point is that you should be listening for intonation at the end of this. It's a yes-no question. Generally speaking, yes-no questions have rising intonation at the end. In this case, the speaker almost is going downward. So there's a hint, a little bit of criticism. There's a negative feeling. Didn't you know that I'd be gone? Feels like you should have known. So the speaker's a little concerned or upset. If we have rising intonation and a lighter tone of voice, oh, didn't you know that I'd be gone? Oh, I'm a little bit surprised. Change it back. Downward intonation and a slightly heavier tone of voice. Didn't you know that I'd be gone? Says that I feel like you should have known, and it caused some trouble somehow. So the end result is that we have a very complicated question to work with here. Once again, going in order, we've got a contraction here, shortening the word. Another contraction here is number 2, and that also goes together with it being a negative question. Those are always difficult in themselves. Number 3, we have the liaison, that tide. Number 4 then is dropping the T over here, didn't you. And number 5 is that you should be paying attention to the intonation, whether it's rising or falling. In this case, the speaker on our sample was falling slightly, so he's probably a little concerned that we didn't know. Thank you very much.